And we're live here. So basically today we're going to be talking about how to use ChatGPT to analyze your data, right? You basically can become a data analyst leveraging this tool. And I'll be showing you the most, or at least one of the most effective and fastest way to do this, right? So as you know, or if you may not know, data analysis basically is going through a series of processes to make sure you get the best out of the data. And this improves, or this includes, but not limited to, exploring the data, or which some will call interpreting the data, cleaning the data, or which some will call preparing the data, and analyzing the data. So we're going to go right straight into it in ChatGPT in a very fast and effective way. So if you don't have your data, there's a platform you can go to called keigo.com, and this has a very large database of amazing data sets. If you don't have your own data, obviously if you do, you just use it, but if you don't, you can check this out to start preparing. And you might even just find amazing data that you may be able to get on this platform that you may not otherwise have gotten. So just get to it. The link will be in the description. It's keigo.com. Check it out to get amazing data. So let's get right straight into it. Here is something called Valentine's Day consumer data. This is what we're going to be using for our sample to go through the process of data analysis. Okay, so once you create an account, it's free of charge. You just simply download it and you have the data set. So let's go back to ChatGPT, and what we want to do is we want to drag this over to ChatGPT. So we can begin with a simple prompt which says, explore data. Once completed, or once done and understood completely, say I am ready for the next step. So the first step that we're going to do, like I mentioned earlier, is exploring or interpreting the data to make sure ChatGPT understands the data, and from there we'll be able to clean it up or prepare it for analysis. So as you can see, in real time, it has interpreted the data. It kind of explained the different CSV files in the zip folder, because I uploaded the zip folder. It then says it's going to explore it and start giving different description of them. And as you can see, with gifts, it has the columns, which is age, spending, celebrating, candy, flowers, jewelry, and the likes description. It provided it. He also spoke about this other one that's for the gender and historical spending. So it pretty much did exactly what it's supposed to, which is to interpret it and understand the data, so that you can then know that you can go on to the next step, which is to clean it or to prepare it for analysis. So with the prompt is going to be, clean this data if necessary. Don't worry, I'm going to put this prompt in the description so that you can just copy and paste or edit it as you like. So as you can see, it says I am ready for the next step. If you remember, we said explore data. Once done and completely understood, say I am ready for the next step. So it has said that, so the job has been done completely. So now I'm going to say clean this data if necessary to prepare or to make the best analysis later on. And let's go through it. So now it has gone through the preparing stage or cleaning stage, depending on how you choose to call it. And as you can see, the data across all three data sets appears clean with no missing value. So it basically is saying that it's prepared for analysis. If it's not, it's going to say it and it's going to adjust it. So you could ask it for a download link, which it will provide for you. Then you'll be able to download the clean version, re-upload it to ChatGPT, then move on to the next and final step, which is analysis. So now the third prompt, which, to analyze the data, is you can do it in various ways. Okay, here's one way to go about it. You could say, are there any interesting trends in this data? If you're specific about a particular trend that you already know or you want to go find out more about, you could ask, I'll edit it, right? But this, I'm just going to first ask it, are there any interesting trends in this data? So the reason I always ask for this, instead of going to a specific trend that I already know, like I said, if you already know a trend and you want to explore on it, you could ask. But if you're just trying to analyze the entire data to find trends that you otherwise may have missed, you could just ask for this and it's going to provide you. So you can see it says to identify interesting trends in this data, I'll perform a series of analysis on the three data sets. So gift preferences by age group, and it also talk about the gift preferences by gender and historical spending trends. So it recognizes these three data as interesting data or interesting trends, and it provided it exactly here. So it gives us a bar plot for gift preferences, and as you can see, it's doing the rest for the gender. But if you can see over here, you can see the spending, celebrating, candy, flowers, jewelries, green tea cards, even evening outing clothing and gift cards. And already we can see the highest over here being the candy. It's actually the highest. Then to the next is flowers, within the ages. So you could easily see the trends, from the gift appearances or gift preferences by age group. Sometimes it does this. It's normal. It's going to keep trying to get it fully settled down. And let's wait, give it a minute. So here it's completely finished with what it's supposed to do, and here is gift preferences by gender. You can see it, and it also now explains it. Candy is more popular among women than men. So it doesn't just show it to you, it also goes further to analyze it, which exactly is what analysis is, by the way. So jewelry is more popular among men as a gift choice. Greeting cards are slightly more popular among women, and evening out clothing and gift cards show variations in preference between genders, but are generally more balanced compared to flowers. Interesting. It's quite an interesting fact which is provided. So instead of me going to ask it for a particular one, which again is fine if you do know what it is you are looking for, right, you could just ask it and it's going to just bring every single thing that you may find interesting, and from there you could then pick which one it is you're looking for. It also shows the historical spending trends, as you can see, per person over the years. Yeah, and it also explains that there's a noticeable upward trend in spending per person over the years, suggesting that individuals are increasingly willing to spend more on celebrations, parent evidence here. Okay, so now another one you could also ask, because I always try my best to squeeze the juice out of the capabilities of this platform. Okay, you could reload this to see other things it might give, right? Or you could ask a specific question if it is, or you could ask it this particular one. So I always ask it at the end, give me great questions I can ask to further analyze this document best. Okay, and you can see what it does over here. It breaks it down into different categories. So over here you see general analysis questions. So what are the most and least popular gift categories overall? And it says this question aims to identify which gifts are universally appealing and which are less favored. It also goes, how does this economic climate affect spending or celebrations? Then by age group, which age group has the highest variance in gift preferences, and how the spending habits change as individuals age? That's an interesting question. Then gift preferences by gender, is there a significant difference in the amount spent celebrating between men and women? And how do the preferences of non-binary or gender non-conforming individuals compare? It talks about historical trends, talks about cost data sets. So it provides questions that you otherwise may be missing in the first place to ask, which is why I always do this. I always have my own questions in advance, but however, there are a lot you could miss, and ChatGPT can help you in terms of asking the question and then eventually helping you answer those questions, by properly analyzing the data. So yeah, without further ado, there it is. There is how to analyze data like a professional, even though you've never have done it before, or you are a pro but you need a little bit of assistance in making sure you take it to the next level. Right, so I hope you found this useful. Like I said, I'm going to put a description in the comment section. That's the link to the keigo.com. It's one of many, but it's one of the most popular. That's if you don't have your data sets, obviously, or if you do have but you want to supplement it. I'm going to put the prompt in the description, and let me know your thought. Let me know how you're analyzing data with ChatGPT and any other tools that you're using. And once again, I hope you found this valuable. Please make sure you leave a comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.